Hey guys, Andy here from Mediocre Hobbies, bringing you part 4 in the Legion playlist series. This one is going to be focused on the Blood Angels Legion. Beautiful, crisp, crimson armor, black trim, sharp looking bolt gun. Let's get into it. So it's time to get stuck into the Blood Angel for the Legion playlist. Quick coat of Chaos Black and then a Gracier Zenithal over the top of that. Gave us our base coat. And then we're going to go straight in with Blood Angel's Contrast, and we're going to apply this to the entire armor of this miniature. Blood Angels known for their crisp crimson armor. Means that all you're trying to achieve is a nice smooth coat of red across the entire miniature. Sometimes I feel like I'm repeating myself with how I describe how contrast should be applied to miniatures. Then I remember that not everyone watches all of my videos. Some of you guys may be watching this as their first video they've ever watched on my channel. So I was going to go over it again. You load your brush up with more contrast than you think you need, and you apply it to one section at a time. And then you drag away and remove the excess contrast from each part as you're going. If you have too little contrast on a brush, then you're going to be scraping the contrast across the surface of the miniature, and that's going to create all those horrible lines and all those horrible pullings that you're not trying to achieve. When the contrast is fully dry, this is the result you should have. Nice, crisp, clean red armor. Next, we're going to move to Black Templar. And for this, we are going to use this for his shoulder trim and the bolt gun casing of the model. Because we're going from a brighter color to a dark color, it is okay to go straight over the red and then straight over the white bolt gun. There will be no problems whatsoever. At this stage, you want to start getting a little bit neater. You don't want to hit the red with the Black Templar contrast, but if you do, it is okay. We will be relayering the armor later on in the video. Just to make that process later on a little bit easier, try and be as neat as possible. I've always struggled with the idea of painting Blood Angels myself, especially in the 40k setting, as even their shoulder trim is red, so I find them all a little bit too samey as a color. Whereas with the Legion ones, I do like the black shoulder trim. Adds that extra splash of color that I like on Space Marines, and breaks up all that red. Next thing, I'll move over to Leadbelcher and use this to base coat all of the metallic parts of the miniature, which on this guy is very little. It's actually just all of the excess parts on the bolt gun that we did not do Black Templar on. So the magazine, the barrel, the butt, and the I usually do the sight in silver as well. There's also 4 cables or tubes coming out of the back of the backpack that I like to do in silver as well. I've just been doing them on all the Legion miniatures for this playlist so far, and I think it's a nice way of breaking up the back of the model. Next, with that being all the base coats on, we're going to throw a Nuln Oil shade all over the entire miniature. Some of you guys at this stage might be thinking that I'm crazy, but please, once again, trust the process. Reserve judgment until the end. Let me know in the comments below, actually, if you've gotten this far into the video and you see me applying the Nuln Oil, are you slightly screaming in your head, wondering what the hell I'm doing? I'm adding a protective layer to the contrast so it doesn't rub off, and it will add a nice bit of depth and shading to the miniature that we will pull up using the layer paint now in a minute, so don't panic. Okay guys, while we wait for the shade to dry, I'm also going to base the miniature up and take this opportunity to thank you guys for the continued support. If you're enjoying the series or this video, make sure you give it a like. If you have any questions about anything that I've done in this video or any previous video, make sure you drop me a comment below. I will get back to each and every one of you guys. And if you see real value in what I do and want to support me even further, there's 2 ways you can do that. You can hit the subscribe button to become a member of the Mediocre Hobbies family. And if you want to support me even further still, there's links to my Patreon below. Thank you guys so much for watching, and let's get back to painting. Okay, with the contrast, shade, and base all dry, this is what we're left with. It's now time to start layering up and bringing that red armor back up to a nice and bright and vibrant color as is befitting a Blood Angel. So I'm using Mephiston Red base paint for this. And we're going to carefully layer up all of the different armor panels across this Space Marine. This is the slowest part of painting the entire miniature. Usually you would add a word like tedious to this, but I didn't actually find it tedious because red covers so well. It's actually quite an enjoyable process watching the red get applied. so smoothly and neatly. I find it quite therapeutic. And I'd say all in all, it took maybe 10 minutes, a little bit less maybe, to layer up the entire miniature with the Mephiston Red paint. And as you can see, the deep recesses are not just a solid black dark color like the Nuln Oil. It does have this tinge of crimson to it. Whether that comes across in the camera or not, I'm not sure. Here's just a quick example of what the right leg painted up, layered up versus it not layered up. You can see the drastic difference in the miniature. One looks like a Blood Angel's leg and one looks like a Word Bear's leg. Then you just got to continue the process around the miniature. Things like the nice smooth shoulder pads. All you will require is one nice neat coat to get that beautiful crimson color done. If you find any brush strokes, don't worry, you can of course add a quick second coat. I find that most of this miniature you will not need a second coat. Things like shoulder pads, it is possible. We're going to move back over to Leadbelcher now to retouch up all of the metallic parts of the model. So once again, all those parts on the bolt gun that we layered down, or shaded down, sorry, with Nuln Oil, we're just going to touch up with a bit of metallic. At this step as well, we are also going to paint in the eye lenses on the Space Marine helmet with silver as well. This is because I like to just contrast the eye lenses to save time, especially if doing Horus Heresy miniatures and you're doing over 100 Marine models with power armored helmets. Spending a lot of time painting eye lenses is not something that appeals to me, so I just throw a quick layer of Leadbelcher over them, and then I throw a contrast over them. The 3 other Legions I've done so far, I have done red eye lenses on them, but of course this being a Blood Angel model, I'm going to do something different. We're now going to move over to Corvus Black, and we're just going to layer up the bolt gun casing and those beautiful shoulder pad trim as well. We're trying to leave behind some of the Black Templar contrast that's been shaded with Nuln Oil, just add a little bit of depth, and that's why I like working with Corvus Black, because it's got that tinge of grey to it. It means that it does stand out as an actual highlight as opposed to going straight back to like an Abaddon black, and that can kind of just obscure all the black detail you've already done. So quite carefully go around and layer up all of those black parts. I do quite like the Mark III shoulder pads. The trim on them is quite beefy and a lot of fun to layer up. Next we go over to Warp Lightning, and this is the color I've chosen for the eye lenses. I looked up some reference pictures and Blood Angels have green eye lenses. So just a quick touch of Warp Lightning onto the eye lenses. And there we have it. I'm going to quickly add some transfers to the miniature. But that's it for me. That's what I believe a 30k Blood Angel miniature should look like. I think it's a quick and easy to follow recipe. You should be able to bash out a legion's worth of these miniatures in no time at all. Thank you guys so much for sticking around till the end of the video, and I will catch you guys in the next one.